Something exciting happened 10 years ago. In 2001, each of my students got a little Palm computer. Remember those? Anybody ever a Palm user? They were great. My students used them for every subject area. They could read books on them. They could do math practice, make flashcards, and we even had a PBS station come out and do a half-hour documentary on what we were doing, because at the time, people were thinking, what do kids need with an electronic organizer? When really, they were mini computers. And at that time, 10 years ago, laptops were very expensive, and there was no way we were going to get one of those for every student. But with a Palm, we were able to empower them with their own technology. And we had software applications back then, but we weren't all hip and cool and calling them apps like we call them today. For the last 5 years now, I've got to travel actually around the world and work with teachers and students and really focusing on what kind of learning we can do that fits in our hands. Trending and the hot thing today is mobile learning. Tools that we can take with us. I mean, think about this. For the rest of their lives, our students now will have a computer with them in their pocket. Until, I guess, whenever they decide to get them implanted in their brains. So, in education, we need to think that way. That we'll have a computer with us all the time, in the form of a phone, and in the form of iPad, something that will be constantly connected. It tends to be pretty easy to learn. In fact, you can go to YouTube, and there are all sorts of videos like this one, where even toddlers are using iPads, because time isn't spent saying, oh, here's what you do to get this to happen. Is that you use them for learning. Knowing how to use the technology, that just comes right away. It's using. So there are a lot of reasons why so many iPads and mobile computers are finding their way into schools nowadays. For a lot of reasons. They're very dependable. They rarely crash. Their battery life lasts all day. They're great for multimedia. And of course, they're just so darn cool. But probably one of the biggest reasons, though, is that there are so many apps. The iPad you can think of as a toolbox. And then the apps are the tools inside of it that you use. And there are places to get apps inside of iTunes for Mac or Windows, or on the device itself. There's lots of apps. The school will be picking out the apps for students, but I'm guessing some student input would be taken too if students know great apps that they want to use. Let's take a look at a sampling of some apps. In fact, of course, there are so many apps for practicing different things. There are apps for flashcards, lots of cool math practice kinds of things. And again, a lot of these apps are free of charge. So one of them, which we could all use some practice for developing our number sense, this one's called Number Line. And Number Line is going to be upside down for me. There we go. I'm going to tap play here, and then as fast as I can, my job is to line up these fractions, decimals, and percents in order from least to greatest. So it's kind of a game. It's more fun than a worksheet, and gets to develop some number sense. So here we go. Moving my, all right, 2/4 is going to be a half. 1/3 goes there. All right, 3/7 is less than half, but is it more or less than 40%? Where should I put that? Let's see. Oh, wrong. Right. Okay, did I do one more? 4/6. All right. Oh, I passed it. I don't think I did get any bonus. It doesn't look like it. But now I'm on level 2. And again, lets me compare those numbers, develop some number sense, the class to see. So students, again, expression and showing what they know. There's all sorts of other apps, mind mapping apps. A really cool one is called Poplet, where I can put these different bubbles on the screen and connect them to show my ideas to make a mind map or a concept map. Then there are drawing apps. Worked with teachers today. We use Doodle Buddy, where you can do drawing. Though there are some more advanced apps. I mean, you talk about creative expression. This video is pretty awesome, where this artist definitely has lots of talent, but he does a portrait. Let me fast forward. Anyway, this is an app called Brushes, and he's able to use his iPad, kind of like pastels, where he's able to blend them together to make some pretty awesome artwork. I mean, it's already awesome. They just got started. They've obviously sped this up. But by the time he's done, it almost has me thinking he should have just taken a picture, because he refines it so much that it looks lifelike. So I just gave you a sampling of apps. I think I might have skipped a couple of these categories, but there are so many uses and so many tools in this toolbox that we call an iPad.